okay?
I'm just going to go over...
Yeah. Go on, what's your question?
Free to WL.
Okay, we will be going through some of this in our presentation, okay? So shall we say, if there is any questions, we'll ask the presentation, okay? Because the presentation will give you information in regards to drugs. Drugs. No. Okay, guys, can we please ask everyone just to try and listen to whilst we're doing it? Okay, we will go through we will go through the questions after the presentation, okay? And we also have a number of leaflets that you are more than welcome to have when we finish the presentation, okay? So any questions we will be asking either throughout the presentation or after the presentation. And if we can ask everyone just to listen, please, we will be very grateful for it, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
So I'm PCSO Michelle.
And I'm PCSO Paulina.
So we are the local police community support officers for the Plasnawydd area. Okay.
We're both based in Cathays Police Station, and we're both trying to work within and with the communities in our area just to make sure that people are aware of what, for example, drugs are, or if there is any other issues, we're trying to help people and resolve people concerns, issues, or any matters that are being brought to our attention.
Have you got a question?
Like, isn't alcohol also a drug?
Sorry?
Isn't alcohol also a drug? So
Calpol.
yeah.
Right, okay, that's a very good question. So I was about to ask you, what are drugs? So you've just given me an example there, and you've said that Calpol is a drug. So yes, Calpol is a drug. It's a medicine, okay? Okay, so a drug is a chemical that you take into your body which changes the way you feel and act. Some drugs are prescribed by the doctor for illnesses,
okay?
But when people talk about drugs, they usually mean drugs that are illegal or unsafe. So you've just mentioned Calpol, so that would be a prescribed safe drug. So can you name any other drugs that are prescribed by the doctor?
Aspirin.
Right, should we put your hands up and then we'll... Can you name any drugs that are prescribed by the doctor? No, we're going first. So drugs that are prescribed by the doctor, first of all. Paracetamol.
Yeah,
well
that's
done.
a great example. Go on. Pardon?
Aspirin.
Yeah.
And lisinopril.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard that coffee is a drug as well. Coffee, good drug.
Coffee has caffeine in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Go on. Yep. Calpol, yep. Can you think of any of the drugs that are prescribed by your doctor? Paracetamol, well done.
Inhaler.
Yep.
Yeah.
Asthma inhaler. Sorry? Morphine.
Oh.
Yep, that's right.
Isn't it like ibuprofen?
Yeah, ibuprofen. Well done, guys. Yep.
Is metformin one?
Yep. Wow, that's a very big one. Well done.
What was that?
Okay. Pepto-Bismol.
Oh.
Okay, so some of the...
I think you need to go.
Right, so we've got penicillin, paracetamol, ibuprofen, morphine, citalopram, tramadol, and there's one more, and aspirin. Okay? So, can we now think of any illegal or unsafe drugs?
Okay, we'll go one by one, guys. Go on. Yeah, what are the illegal drugs? Do you know, can you name any?
I know.
Go on then.
Yes. Well done. Yep,
Yeah, that's cannabis.
Yep. Come on. Alcohol is a drug, yep.
Crystal meth.
Yeah.
Meow meow.
Yes.
Yep.
Magic mushrooms.
Yep.
Guys,
Yeah, we've had weed.
can
Right,
we just
can we all listen to what everyone else is saying, because we've already had weed, okay? But well
Go
done
on.
for coming up with that.
Yeah,
Yep.
go on.
Codeine.
Yeah, I was going to say codeine.
Yep.
Pudding. Beer.
Oh, that's alcohol again.
Toadstools.
Sorry.
But toadstools are drug.
Mushrooms.
Yeah.
Yep. Magic
And
mushrooms.
smoking.
Yep.
Pepsi.
No, Pepsi's not.
Whiskey.
That's alcohol again.
Yeah.
Girls at the back, right, guys, can we quieten down? Girls at the back. Sorry. Molly. Yep. Brilliant. A lot of the names you've given, what are they called? Right, they're illegal drugs, but you just mentioned whiskey and meow meow. What are they known as? So they're known as the street names. Yeah? So those drugs, like whiskey, when you say whiskey, what's the actual drug? Do you know? No. Right, okay. So were you talking about, okay, so you were talking about whiskey as in drinking. But when people buy whiskey on the street, it actually refers to heroin. Okay? So that's a street name for heroin. Okay? So we're just going to go through some of the unsafe drugs.
So we're just going to go to the illegal, like Michelle said, unsafe drugs. So we've mentioned,
Came into like when I was in year 6 and brought every single
Wait, miss, what about heroin?
Well, it was not real.
What about heroin?
yeah, that's already been mentioned as well.
Acid, yeah. LSD, yep.
Okay, we've got balloons and laughing gas.
What about ecstasy?
Ecstasy, well done, yeah.
Cocaine,
Okay. Balloon.
yeah.
Toxic.
Ecstasy, MDMA,
Codeine.
heroin, magic mushrooms.
And benzos. Okay. So,
Do you want me to
guys,
put that up?
let's go to next. Right, so guys, yeah, cocaine, that's cocaine, okay? So with all these illegal drugs, they're split into classes. So class A drugs are the most serious drug.
The most harmful drugs that
Okay.
can really affect you,
So
your well-being.
Class A drugs are considered to be the most harmful to the human body, and it is the reason that these substances carry with them the most serious punishments. So, if you were to be caught in possession of a Class A drug, these are the sentences that you can get.
Yeah, so we've got the possession.
We'll go through them now.
Okay, we've got up to 7 years imprisonment and an unlimited fine or both. And then if anyone is being caught to supply and product them, it's up to lifetime imprisonment and unlimited fine or both. It all depends on circumstances, how that person was caught, what are they actually doing, what are the drugs, and everything else that is obviously surrounding the situation. Okay?
So some Class A drugs. Can you name any Class A drugs?
Pills, cocaine, codeine.
Okay, yep, so we've had cocaine,
The one you inject yourself with.
heroin.
No, steroids. Well, no, they're not class A. are they?
No.
What is the pills called? Do you know those pills?
Yeah, look at these pills. You said it earlier.
Ecstasy.
Ecstasy, well
Ecstasy.
done, guys.
Another one, it's like pills, like, and then you eat it, it's, but it has a name. It's like blue and white pill.
What's that one? Is that person?
Okay, we'll go through it. If they,
Okay, wait there. It brings what? LSD, acid.
Yeah.
Miss, would snus be a drug?
snus.
Yeah.
Acids are bad.
Laughing gas.
What?
Snuff at the moment.
Yeah.
That we'll talk about the technicality with that later, because obviously with laughing gas and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and obviously stuff that you can buy in the shops, that would be classed as I'm
Unsafe for life.
trying to think what it's called now. they come under the psychotic substances.
Yeah.
Okay. So here are some class A drugs. So heroin, which is this picture here, and as you said, it's
Yeah.
injected. So method, it can be smoked, injected, or snorted. It's a
It all depends,
powerful-
yeah.
A powerful opiate, usually sold as a white or brown powder. Other names, when we were talking about street names earlier, brown, gear, H,
You've got some of the names
horse,
by them.
skag, smack, or whiskey. Okay?
Yeah, those are some of the names that have been brought to our attention that people are using for heroin out on the streets.
Yeah, we'll go up because cannabis isn't a class A drug, okay?
Yeah.
So we'll cover that in a minute, okay? So the next one,
We've got Ecstasy, okay? I can't pronounce that one, so you can do
so
it.
with ecstasy, people tend to take this when they go to nightclubs. They kind of take it when they go out to have a good time,
Yeah.
but it's not a safe drug, guys. You can swallow it,
Yeah.
snort it,
Or
rub
rub
it into your gums. Other names,
We've got Crystal, Superman, Molly, Beans, and E. Okay? So when someone is asking you if you would like any of the mentioned names, basically that's what they may be referring to as ecstasy. So you just need to be aware if someone ever comes to you and tries to, offer you something.
Why does that ecstasy have smiley faces and stuff?
because that's what they look like, guys.
Basically, it gives you
Yeah.
Yeah, because as I said, most people take them when they go out to clubs and stuff, when they're dancing, having fun.
No,
And this is this
That's
is what
why-
they look like.
it's not good to you. That's why they
Yeah.
class as class A drugs,
Yeah,
because
and
they
it's
can
really
cause a
dangerous.
lot of harm to your body, your mental health, and your well-being. Okay? We will go through some of the effects of what certain drugs can do to you a little bit later in the presentation. Okay?
So the next one,
We've got LSD, which is a chemical usually sold in tiny amounts of blotter paper. They sold as a liquid or a pellet microdot, okay? And we've got the method, it could be swallowed, dropped on your tongue, mixed with food or drink. And we've got obviously different names. Yet again, those would be some of the street names. We've got acid, L, Smileys, Lucy, Flash, or Rainbows. Okay? And again, those are some of the examples of the street names. We will go through some of the side effects or the effect that drugs can have on your body a little bit later on in the presentation, okay?
okay. So the last one is cocaine, and that's a white powder stimulant that is normally snorted or rubbed into your gums. So with cocaine, it kind of gives you snorted when you snort it up your nose. So with cocaine, it kind of gives you a rush. It makes you feel excited, like you're on top of the world. With cocaine, it can be snorted, smoked, or injected. Other names for cocaine can include Charlie.
Smoked when you were smoking it.
Yeah. It can street names are Charlie, Coke, Snow.
Guys, can we ask everyone just to listen, please? Thank you.
Snow, sniff, or blow. So that's some of the common Class A drugs. Can you remember how long if you were caught in possession?
7 years.
Well done. What about if you supply and produce?
Unlimited.
Unlimited.
Like fines or
Life,
or
life imprisonment. Yeah.
or you could have both.
Well done, guys. Okay. So what do you think oh, there we go. It's on the board already. The next one is Class B drugs.
Is that worse?
No.
No.
A is the worst. As we said earlier, the types of heroin and cocaine, because they are the worst drugs and they can do proper
A lot of
damage
harm.
to your body and your mind, they carry the most severe punishments. So Class A is the highest, Class B, and then Class C. So we're
Okay.
on Class B now.
So we've got the punishments for Class B drug offences are as follows. Obviously, there would be a little bit of a difference between Class A and Class B. For Class B, for the possession, you can get up to 5 years of imprisonment, okay, an unlimited fine, or both again. If you supply and product them, you can get up to 14 years imprisonment, unlimited fine, or both.
What does
It just depends what
You go to prison.
there is no amount put on how much it can be. It all depends on the circumstances.
Third, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, 2 seconds. Right. Let her just finish the question. Okay, right, go on.
Why do people try, like, why do people abuse a
Because within society, people like to, what's the word? I'm
Try
looking
new
for?
things?
Try new things. And we're here to educate you guys to say that drugs are not good and they can do a lot of damage to you. So if anybody offers you drugs, you must say no and you must tell us. Tell your parents, and then obviously we can help you guys. But in relation to these drugs, as we said, it's all about educating you so you know the dangers of drugs. Some people, unfortunately, do take drugs. And you might have seen some people in town who have been maybe on spice, and the way they act in town, they kind of act like zombies. Have any of you seen? Yeah?
So
Okay.
this is some of the side effects.
I see loads of like drug dealers in Grinch Town. No, GG, Grinch Gardens.
Right, okay. Okay. And this is why obviously we're giving you a talk, guys, because a lot of the street names you don't know about. And as we said, you know, the street names are important for you to understand. So if anyone does approach you and asks you if you want to buy some Lucy or Blow, you know what type of drug it is, okay? So with Class Bs, do any of you know any Class B drugs? Okay, so we got some pictures on the screen. Yeah? Does anyone? Yeah? That's cannabis. Okay?
Okay, so we've got, guys, can we listen? Can we listen, please? Okay? We've got cannabis. So it's a plant-based drug. Okay, there is different ways of taking it. It can be smoked, eaten, or vaped.
Like smoked.
Yeah, through like a little, yeah, electric smoker. So
We'll go through that.
yeah, we will be
Yes.
going through them in a second.
Yeah,
and
we
we've got
the same side effects.
We've got other names which can be used for weed as well, for cannabis, which is weed, skunk, hash, cali, dope, bud, or ganja. Okay?
Marijuana is another common one as well. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, people call them spliffs as well. Okay?
Seconds,
So those
skills.
are some of the names that are being used on the street for cannabis.
Does anyone know what the second picture is? It's- no?
It's sugar.
It's ketamine. Now, does any... Yeah, it's ketamine. So it's sold as a grainy white.
What we would like you to do is listen to the information that we're providing you with, okay?
It looks similar to cocaine, but it's a very different drug. Ket can be snorted, injected, swallowed, or bombing. Other names are donkey dust, K, green, ket, super K, or wonk. Okay, does anyone know what the third picture is?
It's not.
Pill. What you get THC pill.
Does anyone know what the third one is? Okay.
Okay, we've got amphetamines, okay, power stimulant that keeps people alert, usually sold as an off-white pinkish powder that sometimes looks like small crystals, okay? There is different methods. It can be snorted, dabbed on gums, bombing, injected, mixed with drinks,
Bombing is like put into little parcels.
okay? And we've got other names that amphetamines can be used for is base, whiz, billy, paste, and salt. Salt. Okay. Pardon?
You
can dab it on gum, okay?
Okay. Right, guys. What's the last one? You mentioned it earlier. I think so, yeah. This is, no, it can be codeine. Codeine, well done. So codeine, as we said earlier, it can be a safe drug if it's prescribed by a doctor. If you don't get it from a doctor, then it is illegal, okay? It's an opiate painkiller used to treat mild or moderate pain. So unless it comes from your doctor, then you being in possession of it, it would be illegal, guys.
And you would be... Go on.
With codeine, it's swallowed or injected. Other names are cough syrup, cocodamol, Codis 500, or syrup. Okay?
Just a quick question. What time do you finish? For Class C drugs offences are as follows. So if someone is in possession of Class C drugs, they can go to prison for up to 2 years, have unlimited fine or both, except anabolic steroids. Okay? It's not an offence to possess them for personal use. We've got supply and production. It's, again, up to 14 years imprisonment, unlimited fine or both. Okay, that's for Class C drugs. We're going just to go through some of the Class C drugs now, okay?
Right, so we've got CAT, which is a leafy green plant containing stimulant drugs. Yeah, they chew this. You might see a lot of people down in Grangetown chewing this. Other names are quat, cat, and quadcar. Okay, so that is a Class
You can pronounce
drug,
this because I don't know how to pronounce
and
that.
this is this one. Guys, okay. Pyrazines, B-Z-P, a broad class of chemical compounds which mimic the effects of ecstasy. So it's very similar to ecstasy. With this, they are swallowed, and other names are happy pills, blast, pepliv, smileys, frenzies, or A2. Okay.
Then we've got benzodiazepines, a prescription drug used to treat anxiety. Okay. Street benzos are illicit drugs that are similar but can be far more dangerous. Other methods of it is either swallowed or injected, and you've got other names that can be used on the streets, such as blues benzodiazepam, downers, wallies, roofies, or xenon.
Anax.
There we go. Okay.
Okay.
Anabolic steroids used to build muscle or improve sports performance. Okay. They can be swallowed or injected, and other names for it are juice, roids, smart drugs, or nootropics.
So you asked earlier, guys, about the effects on the body. So we're going to have a look now.
We've got the psychoactive substances then.
Psychoactive first.
I can go back to it, whichever one you want.
No, go back to psychoactive. Okay.
There we go. We've got 2 slides and we're done.
Okay. So we talked earlier, guys, about psychoactive substances. It crosses the blood and brain barrier. Its actions affect the central nervous system. It can affect the brain and change perception, mood, and cognitive and behaviour. They can produce similar effects to drugs like cocaine, cannabis, and ecstasy. So some of these drugs you might have seen out. I'm guessing you've seen some of these out.
And again, they've got different names. They can be sold in different forms. They can be liquids, capsules, tablets, tabs, smoking mixtures as well, okay? They can be known as bath salt, illegal highs, balloons, benzoferry, bubble, blast, plant food, ocean snow, okay? Punishments for it could be is either none unless you're in prison, or supply and production is up to 7 years imprisonment, unlimited fine, or both.
I touched one of the metal
One of the balloons.
Yeah,
Okay.
So,
So, guys, effects on the body. We've talked about this earlier. Okay. Do we all know who she is? Britney Spears. Okay. So, Britney, this was before and this was after. Okay. This is another person when he was on drugs, and this is when he's recovered. Okay. Yeah, this one. Home Alone. Okay. So that's how he looked when he was probably about your age, guys. And then when he started taking drugs, this is how he looked. He has actually recovered now because he's actually modelling now again. And this is quite recent. So this is how they looked previously in the smaller pictures. And that's how they got, well, when they were arrested, that's how they looked because they were taking drugs.
I usually see like these small cans.
Yeah, that's the balloons, that
Yes.
is. Yeah. So cannabis, okay, we touched on cannabis earlier. So it can make you sick and hallucinate. So when we say hallucinate, what do we mean, guys? When you see things. Yeah, so when you see things. Okay. Right, guys, it can make you feel unmotivated, paranoid. It can give you the munchies. It can impact your mental health, and it can also increase the risk of lung cancer. Okay?
Then we've got cocaine. So when someone takes cocaine, it can make you feel excited, happy, wide awake, anxious, and quite panicky as well. You can be sick after taking it. Your heart rate would be increased. You can have a heart attack, stroke. It damages veins and it causes ulcers, okay? That's cocaine.
Okay. So the next one, balloons, which is the gas canisters, the silver ones you see on the streets. This can make you feel dizzy. You can hallucinate off it. It can give you really bad headaches. And it can give you short-lived but intense feelings of paranoia, serious nerve damage, and it can stop your white blood cells from forming properly.
Is it liquid? Is it the balloons?
Okay.
So the
Last one, we've got ecstasy, MDMA, can make people paranoid, very energized, very alert, confused as well, so you don't know what's going on. You can suffer from psychosis, your heart rate would be increased, and higher body temperature, okay?
So guys, it's really important to know that, if you know anybody that's taking drugs, talk to people. Talk to your teachers here and in school, okay, guys? Let us know, okay? There's a lot of help out there. These are some of the agencies that you can contact. You've got Dan 24/7. You've got Frank. You've got Inroads. And you've got The Mix, guys, okay? These can all be accessed online or telephone calls, okay? We've also got some cards here which have Dan 24/7 on them. There's also other numbers on there, like Childline and 999 for you to contact us.
Okay.
So if you want to take some cards, guys, and any leaflets on any of the drugs.